Okay, so today I am talking about PiperWai versus Primal Pit Paste versus just regular aluminum antiperspirant. Pretty Pistol 86, if you don't know her here on YouTube, you're more likely to have seen her than you are me, so I'll link her channel down below though. She has a great video on PiperWai deodorant. It is super thorough and just amazing. I really highly recommend you watch it. Anyway, so I'll link her video down below. I switched from antiperspirant in 2013. It was basically a combination of things. At the time, I was really going natural with my routine. I've since kind of slacked back off, but the deodorant part of the lack of antiperspirant kind of stuck. And it stuck for several reasons. One, all the research, I feel like is pretty inconclusive. I feel like you can kind of argue both sides of it, so I'm not going to tell you that aluminum is bad for you. I'm just not going to. If you want to make that kind of decision, I feel like you should do the research yourself, because I do feel like it's either or. I don't feel like there's any damning evidence, against it, but there's some pretty convincing arguments. The problems that I had with aluminum deodorant were really kind of my main triggers to stick with finding a regular deodorant, a natural deodorant. I had a lot of clogged pores under my arms. Aluminum deodorant actually works by clogging your pores. So my underarms looked very, very bumpy. They would just look kind of gross. It kind of just looked like blackheads, regardless of how well I shaved that day. It just always looked kind of bumpy and gross. My armpits were also getting very, very dry, and they would just itch. Like, especially in the winter when I had dry skin anyways, they would just itch, and it was so annoying and just not working out for me. The other thing was shaving. I couldn't shave every day, so like during the summer, I couldn't wear tank tops. I have to shave my armpits every day. I'm Italian, Mediterranean. I have that, we grow our hair pretty fast, put it that way, but I couldn't shave every day. So like if I wanted to shave, I could shave on Monday and then have to wear like a long sleeve shirt or like short sleeve shirt that covered my armpits on Tuesday. Then I could shave again on Wednesday. If I did try to shave every day, I just got razor burn and irritation, and it was really annoying. I'm not having those issues with natural deodorant. Also, antiperspirant stains my clothes. If you get the yellow staining, we tend to call that sweat stains. It actually, if you read up on it, I think it comes more, I may be wrong, but I think it actually comes more from the antiperspirant itself and not your actual sweat. I haven't had any yellow staining of my clothes since I made the switch to natural deodorant. So that's something to think about too, especially if you love to wear white. So those were my main beefs. Combined with the potential health risks of aluminum deodorant, or aluminum antiperspirant, I'm sorry, there's a difference. And I know it, I just, always say it. I just always say it wrong. But, yeah. So those are kind of the arguments against it, for me anyways. I also had like a detox period when I first started using, natural deodorant. I had a lot of irritation, and I think it was just my body getting used to sweating underneath my armpits. I hadn't been sweating for a really long time underneath my armpits. So, you have to factor in moisture plus shaving and friction, you're going to get some initial irritation. One of the things that I did to combat that was use an herbal diaper rash cream. I still have it on hand just in case. Sometimes early summer I'll still get that irritation back. Just getting used to sweating. I think it's a pretty normal thing. A lot of natural deodorants contain baking soda, and I'm not going to say everyone. Some people have legitimate sensitivities to baking soda, but I think a lot of people are confusing that initial irritation when they switch antiperspirants. I think they're confusing that with a baking soda irritation because they are very similar. But yeah, I got rid of I just started using a zinc-based herbal diaper rash cream. It absorbed into the skin. And yeah, I don't have any problems with that. So, moving on to the actual review of the deodorants. I basically just listed out pros and cons. I think Primal Pit Paste has been calling themselves P3 lately. So I'm just going to roll with that because it's easier to say than Primal Pit Paste. And then I may refer to PiperWai as PW. But anyway, so with the P3 deodorant, I'm going to go with all the cons first. This is, if you don't put this on and let it absorb into your skin, I tend to put it on while I do my hair. I don't wear a shirt when I do it. If you don't let it absorb fully into your skin and then you put your clothes on top of it, it kind of like too much of the product soaks into your clothing. And after you wash your clothes, you can't tell it during the day, but after you wash your clothes, it gets like this hard residue like build up on it. All you have to do is take some like spray and wash or just rub a little bit of laundry detergent on it. It comes right out. It doesn't leave a stain, but it's still a little frustrating. You have fresh, clean laundry and here you have this residue left on your clothing. So that's one of the cons about Primal Pit Paste. Another con about Primal Pit Paste, because of that, it makes reapplication not a thing. So if you put your clothes on and you forget to put on your deodorant, you're kind of like crap, you know? You're either going to have to suck it up and know that you're going to have deodorant residue on your clothes, or, you know, I don't just not wear deodorant. So that's sort of an issue. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some cons of PiperWai. Unfortunately, PiperWai does not last all day for me here in this climate at this moment. Our weather has been about 90 degrees, pretty humid. The heat index has been somewhere between 95 and 100 degrees. This doesn't last for me all day. It lasts for about 6 to 7 hours, and then after that it's like total stink fest. I wore it today because I have on this sort of like fabric, and it doesn't work as well. Like, it does kind of get on this dress when I wear the Primal Pit Paste. So I was like, I'll wear PiperWai today. At about 4 o'clock, I was like, ooh, Mama needs to spray some perfume under her armpits. I tend to be out of the house all day doing stuff, working out and all that drama. So reapplying isn't really an option for me because I don't like to reapply. Like, I have to wash my armpits if I'm going to reapply. So that's that. So reapplying isn't really an option for me. If it is an option for you, this would probably be perfectly fine. Unfortunately, it has been hot and humid the whole time I have tried this deodorant. So that's sort of a little bit, you know, crappy. I have a feeling it's going to work a lot better in the cooler months. But for right now, it's just not holding up for a whole day. Let's see. Okay, now we're going to talk about the pros of this deodorant. The Primal Pit Paste, it does not going to stain your clothes like antiperspirants do. I haven't been using the PiperWai long enough to know whether or not it's going to stain your clothes. Now, like I said, this does leave the residue. P3 or PiperWai do not contain aluminum. P3 or PiperWai has a little less baking soda than Primal Pit Paste. So for people who have baking soda sensitivities, you know, the PiperWai might be a better solution for you. Although Primal Pit Paste does have a baking soda light formula. They both did contain baking soda though. P3 or PiperWai don't clog your pores and leave the sort of the bumpy blackhead appearance, so that's really nice. P3 or PiperWai didn't seem to cause me any razor burn with frequent shaving, so that's nice. Like I said, P3 lasts all day on me. My days are usually about 12 hours and they usually end with some sort of workout, so this just isn't holding up to that, whereas this holds up to that and actually smells nice. That's another plus for the Primal Pit Paste. I think it comes in a lot of different flavors or scents. This one is jacked up jasmine. They have a lavender. They have lemongrass and thyme, which I can't use because I have sensitivities to lemongrass. So I can't use that one. They have a spicy one that would be very appropriate for men. I really like that one too, though. And then they have, I think, just maybe an unscented one. I'm not sure, but they have a variety of scents, which is nice, whereas the PiperWai just comes in the one scent, and it's not bad. It's not an offensive scent. It's not one that you can really smell throughout the day. So if you like to smell, I like to smell my deodorant. I'm weird like that. I do like to smell my deodorant, but if you don't, that's a plus for this because you can smell the P3 throughout the day. Okay, my final thoughts on both of these products is, we're just going to kick antiperspirant out of my life. I'm not going back to it. The thought that it might be harmful to my health, plus all of the other little side effects that I was having, like the itching and all the stuff I mentioned earlier, I'm not going back to antiperspirant. I won't even use it occasionally because I just don't want the clogged pores and the nastiness. I probably could get away with it, but I just don't have any interest in it, and I don't want to use it. Primal Pit Paste has better protection against odor. It's more affordable. It's actually cheaper. These are $9 to $10 for a tube of this, and they seem to last me a little bit longer than the PiperWai has lasted me. But they're $9 to $10, and Primal Pit Paste is constantly giving discounts over their email list. So 20% off, 25% off, 30% off, buy one, get one half off. So yeah, I find these to be more affordable. This was $15. I can't remember if that was before shipping or what, but I ended up paying about $15 to $16 for this. And I find that to be a little bit expensive. I just purchased it in May, and it is almost gone, and to hold on to that and try it under some different circumstances again. So I was kind of savoring that last little bit. Another issue that I think the PiperWai, just based on some of the reviews I've been watching, I feel like there might be a little bit of consistency issues. They are a newer company, so you know, you have those little things, that little quirks when you're setting up a company. If you're a small business, you understand. You just can't perfect everything in one day. It takes trial and error, so I'm not holding that against them, but I do feel like maybe they're having a little bit of consistency of product issues. It also is not available in a stick form yet. They're working on it, so I think that is sort of a negative for some people. Okay, but I do want to say that I do think this is a really, really good product. And so far, I have not had any of the hassles with the clothing. It hasn't interrupted my laundry day whatsoever. I don't have any issues with the scent of it. I feel like it, so I do think this is a really good product. And I think that a lot of people would probably like this better than the Primal Pit Paste, especially in a cooler climate. Just because you're not going to have the issues with your laundry. Really, it has less baking soda, so you're less likely to have any sort of irritation to baking soda with this one. And it also has charcoal to absorb some of your sweat. I found that it will kind of absorb that sweat for me for about 4 hours, and then after that I'm just as sweaty as if I didn't have that at all. So, and you know, this is all dependent on my body chemistry, your body chemistry, and it's also very dependent on the environment that you live in. I think people if you live in a cooler environment, I would totally just say start with this, you'll love it. If you live in Texas and it's hot and humid all the time, I'd be like, girl, you're probably gonna need this. And especially if you're outdoors or you're a man, maybe if you happen to catch this video and you don't want to stink, you know, maybe you work construction or whatever, yeah, you're gonna want to go with this. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on both products. I know that may not be extremely helpful because I wasn't like, this one's a clear winner or this one's a clear winner. I think they're both winners. I think they're both great products, and I think if you're looking to make that transition from antiperspirant, either one of these are going to give you some level of good deodorant. I have tried some crappy deodorants. I have a whole video when I first started making videos. I hesitate to even talk about it because, you know, all old stuff is embarrassing. But I have a video from when I first started making videos, and it's all about deodorant. I think that's the name of it. But I talk about a bunch of the deodorants that I have used, natural deodorant wise, and there are a lot of really, really crappy natural deodorants out there. A lot. This is the only one up until this point that I had found that worked. Well, actually there was one more, but it wasn't as good. So anyways, long story short, my plan for the future is to keep buying both of these until I kind of decide. I really want to give this a shot in the winter because I think I'm really going to like it in the winter. So hopefully if it works like I think it will for me in the winter, Hopefully this will kind of be my go-to deodorant for the winter cooler months, and then this will kind of be something that I have on hand for the hot summer months or like really long days when I just can't smell bad. You know, some of my work I have to run out and I'm running around all day, and I just, you know, you don't want to stink when you're working. Anyways, at least I don't want to stink. Anyway, so I know that probably wasn't the most helpful, but I'm running out of battery, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!